Did you enjoy your honeymoon? Was it fun?
Yeah.
Because you guys went everywhere. You guys were in Dublin and Paris and Venice.
Yeah, I figured out why I love Dublin and Ireland because we went to like this Irish storytelling night. Like it's a very touristy thing. Like in this bar, it was like you get a dinner and this lady stood in front of a fireplace and told Irish stories and sang songs and stuff. It was really cool, and she explained Irish history, and it kind of dawned on me, like listening to this stuff, why I fetishize Irish culture is because they're a European culture they didn't have a Renaissance. They didn't participate in this rich people bullshit. Like they're their own little thing. Like they don't. If you go back in their history, any other like European culture, it's like. If you go to their museums or whatever, there's gonna be some like red suspenders at some point, like or some like fancy pointy shoes or like a windmill hat or something. Like oh, and then we did this. Oh, this is what we're famous for. Like look at us. Like we look like flower people or like we got perfume on our face.
What country is that?
The one I just described,
yeah,
like all of them except for Dublin, you know, like
the country of Dublin.
I thought you said city. They're just poor potato people. They just grew with the potato. They're just dirty little people, and they had to. I wish that was inflammatory enough for you to get letters about that. No, they don't care because they've been through
dirty potato people.
They're fine with that. They don't care. They have a great sense of humor. They're not offended.
I think everybody cares about you when you call them dirty little people.
You're wrong. We had our Irish friend Graham Linehan here last a couple of weeks ago.
That dirty little guy. Shut up, Adam.
If you told him I called Irish people dirty little potato people, not on Twitter though, out of context, don't. But like he'd be like, yeah, that about sums it up.
You said it in context though. You called Irish people dirty little potato people.
Yes, and so they're all of their songs and poetry and literature and things like they don't come out of any kind of nobility or anything. It's kind of like it's very nice. Didn't really dawn on me until I was really learning about it over mashed potatoes. They still love potatoes over there too. Their civilization exploded because of the potato. The potato became a thing like that they could do, and they grew in population quite a bit. And then, of course, there was the potato blight, and then like things got real bad for them, and you know, the rest is history.
Can you sing a little Irish song for us about it?
That's what she would do. She would go like, oh, and there's a one of the fairies of the potato patch was the Shin Leinin. The Shin Leinin was a lovely woman, would take the form of a very seductive lady, and she would come a calling when the things and blah blah blah, and then there's a song about her. Well, that doesn't sound right. She sounded beautiful. I bought her CD. That's how beautiful she sounded. I don't even have a CD player. I just bought it because I'm like, make more music. I don't know. Keep making it.
There's a fairy of the potato patch?
No, I made that all up. That was one of the coolest things about Irish folklore was the fairy. I don't know, just the idea of fairies. Like we all have our understanding of fairies, like the Tinkerbells and the whatnot. They're always, for us, they're always small, and they always have insect wings, and they have there's a very specific fairy like kind of image we get in our head. But the word fairy originally just meant it's just kind of these crazy like magical beings that are kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like it was pre-Christian. Christian mythology that got Christianized, but like the way that they Christianized it was to say that when Lucifer went down from heaven into hell, there were a bunch of angels, who were like totally like, "Hail Lucifer, I'm gonna go with him right away." And then there were like the angels that were like, "Fuck Lucifer, I'm gonna stay up here." But then there were like the kind of like, I don't know, I'm gonna see where the action is, kind of wandering downward. And then there was like an angel that went to God and said, "Come on, give those guys a break. Don't make them go all the way to hell." And then God like snapped his fingers, and at the exact moment, when he called, it's like play it where it lays. So some angels were like, in the ocean, and some were in a rock, and some were like had half of their head in a flower and their foot in a pork chop or something. And so like that's the kind of fairy you are, like if you get a pork chop for a foot and then like a flower for a hand, and then but it's just like their fairies are like, they could be monsters. They're like Cenobites. They're angels to some and demons to others. And a leprechaun is one of those. A leprechaun is a fairy. Jeff, did you know that?
I did not. What do they call the one that has half a foot and a pork chop?
That's a Sinfire.
Did you enjoy Venice, Italy? How was that for you?
Did you know a banshee is also a fairy?
I did not know.
They're all fairies. Every monster you could name. Werewolves are fairies.
Are they?
I made that up.